How's it going, everyone? Today, we're going to do some sharpening. Earlier today, though, we did a hardware swap on my favorite Shaman. And we swapped it with Rip's titanium hardware. But I put it on bronze hardware, and I don't know, I wanted to decide if I wanted to use satin. So I actually had a set of satin for Shaman too. So I switched out for Rip satin. You can tell these screws are different. They're bugle head screws. They're not little button head weird screws. They sit so flush. And this hardware is so precisely made that they screw in as hard as you can, 100% screwed in, and they're very tight feeling the whole time when you're screwing in to start with. So no Loctites needed. They just stay snugly seated with perfect action with them all the way tightened. So Grips hardware rocks. Today, we got some mail in. We got 3 packages, and one of them, I forgot this was coming in, is a Brown FSD, which is a knife I've wanted to play with for a long time, actually. So it's looked really fun. This is, I've owned a Brown before. They're really smooth. They have really good action. Great flippers with a cool design flipper. It's really low-key looking. It goes with the lines of the knife. Flips great. It's a button lock that drops, which is really cool. So this is what we're going to sharpen today. I've wanted to play with this for a while, so it's cool to see one come in finally. That does kind of pinch my finger when I flip it like that. Got to be careful. I can't front flip knives. Oh, I can. Doesn't feel great, but you can do it. Okay, so Matthew, how are you feeling today, Matthew? Feeling okay? Thank you for joining me. So that's that. Let's see where this awesome mat over here. Let's get this mounted up. So this one, I've been trying to figure out how I'm going to clamp it, because if you look at the blade, there's a fuller right there. So there's not a flat spot. And then this is a hollow grind, so it's also kind of hard to clamp it there. So I'm going to have to rely on these two surfaces being, I don't know. We'll see how it clamps. We're going to have to check the centering on this. This is a difficult profile to think is going to get clamped okay. So we'll see. So chamois cloth. Open up the jaws. Okay, we're just going to stick it in about a third of the way over the knife. So this knife should have, get it centered where I want it. This knife should have similar bevels because it's a good knife. It's a well-made knife. It should have hopefully an edge that is the same on both sides. So we're going to check the angle on it, and we're going to make sure that we can swipe both sides, because I want to make sure this is centered in the clamp. It's kind of an awkward profile. All right, marker. Ooh, we got some, this is a user. We got some chippage. Nothing crazy. He'll come out with just a quick sharpen, but yeah, this guy's been used and abused. I'm binging on all the old FFID episodes. That is awesome. I'm glad someone's still watching those. If you want to find the best one, go, not the best one, but the coolest one. We have 3 episodes that are interviews with Eric Glesser. He's come on the show. He is a friend of the group now. He thinks what we do is fucking awesome. So, yeah, check those out. There is an Eric Glesser episode. I think it's in March was the last time we talked to him. So we'll be talking to him again in the next month or 2. He comes on once a year. So, yeah, check that out. All righty. 150 grit stone. Let's see where this edge is. Oh, we got to tape it first. The owner, I don't know if he's watching yet. I just messaged him. He just said that this knife happened to fall down and go flying across concrete. So it's got a couple little boo-boos already on the heel. Can't really tell though. I had to look. I didn't notice it until he said that. But we're going to protect the front end so we don't make it worse. All right. Too low. 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 Having kind of a hard time trying to figure out where it is. It's not going to be super low angle. It's going to be in the low 20s. It's over 20 though. Kind of hard to read. The bevel is really small, and this is a hollow grind. So since it's a hollow grind, the profile of the knife comes together with a really, really narrow behind the edge measurement, which makes for a tiny bevel. And tiny bevels are cool because they're really fucking easy to sharpen fast. But they're really hard to read to get the right angle. And so I'd rather not profile it. I'd rather figure out what it is. It's just hard to read them. So I can't tell. It shows higher than that. I think it's around here. It's pretty high. Let's see where we're at. I'm surprised it's this high. But it is really, really thin knife, so it makes sense. Okay, we're at 25 degrees, so we're going to go 25 even. We're going to try 24. 24 sounds like a better number, to be honest. I think that will work, and it won't be too much work to reprofile it if we do. Take the marker again. I take this process pretty intensely. I like to figure out the best possible way to eat the metal on this knife in the safest, most productive, and quickest way. So 24 looks pretty good. We're going to go 24. Let's see what it is on the other side. Let's see. Kind of hard to tell. Yeah, we'll go 24. Oh, what's up, Knight's Edge? I have my paramilitary 2 and 15V shamans sent back to 17 degrees, and those two are absolutely laser beams. The PM2 more so, of course, but that shaman's 15V's edge will cut and cut and cut. It's crazy good. Awesome, dude. He's got a YouTube account, so give the Knight's Edge a subscription. Go check his sharpening videos out. What's up, Greg Wadsworth? Okay. Now to sharpen. Got our 150 stone. And that bevel's kind of hard. It's pretty hard to tell this bevel what's going on. But it's so small that it'll profile the 24 really. Yeah, it's like right there. We were close. Yeah. 24 is a good call. It's all nice now. That's fun. I think this is CPM 154. I think that's what he makes most of his knives out of. And sometimes he does 20 CV. Now I'm trying to remember. It's not going to be marked on here unless I take it out apart. I doubt. But yeah, we got a burr already, so we're good. We're going to flip it. This one's really easy to sharpen because the heel ends about 3/4 of an inch away from anything that you could possibly touch, which makes sharpening a expensive knife much less stressful than when you have something that sneaks up on the end of the edge you have to avoid. So we have to make sure we sharpen enough to get the little chips that were in the edge out. First, we're going to get a burr, and then we'll see the chips. Now we're going to sharpen a little bit more. Okay, we got a burr. Now we're going to just kind of profile it, make sure it looks nice, and make sure the scratches all go the same way. We have apex the edge, all the Sharpies long gone. Okay, that's plenty good. 400 grit. I should probably see what this guy wants for an edge, or should I just do a mirror? Let's see what he wanted. I have my MacBook handy, and I can use it. Let's see. I'm just going to mirror it because it's... Yep, mirror edge. Okay. Every different grit that I have, I can make a knife sharp with my lowest grit or my highest grit. But they all do cut a little different. Low grit knives are nice, but we're going to make this mirror really sharp. It'll be a cutter since he uses this. Yeah, I'm pretty lucky I get to see all these cool knives. And this is the one I've been waiting for to come in. I can't believe it took me this long to see one. Do one more quick pass, reduce the burst size to 400. .800 grit. Kill that burr. Oops, almost fell off the edge. That sucks when that happens. Feeling pretty good, you guys. To tell you the truth, these sharpening sessions have been really healthy for me to sit down, think, but also escape my thoughts at the same time, if you know what I mean. Focus on something, because being a stay-at-home dad, I don't get a lot of human interaction with anyone that's over the age of 4. So being able to talk and interact with you guys is really helpful for me. So thank you. That's why I've been doing so many of these. Is it's just been really stimulating, exciting, productive. I'm making money doing this while I'm having fun. So I quit my job almost 2 years ago. It'll be a year, and like 3 weeks from now, it'll be 2 years. And I didn't know what I was going to do in the knife industry. I had no idea. So I had a job offer from a dealer, kind of, and it fell apart. And I don't know. I interviewed at Spyderco, and that didn't work out for the position. So I've been kind of lost and didn't know what to do. And then I found Sharpening, and this has been an awesome way to make some cash and also chase my passion. So I feel lucky. I feel blessed. I get to use my skills. I feel very proud of a lot of my edges I do, which is a really cool feeling to be like proud of what I worked on and show it off. And so things have worked out, and I've really enjoyed it so far. Don't make a lot of money doing this for sure, because I don't do it enough. But if I keep on doing these lives and keep on getting motivated, because this is so much more entertaining than doing this by myself in a quiet room, and maybe I'll start to make some actual cash so I can get productive enough. So we're polishing with the 2000 grit stone right now. This leaves basically a mirror. Like we could call this a mirror, and no one would bat an eye. It looks like a mirror. But we have higher stones that'll give us a brighter mirror, and that's just fun. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna go up a couple more stones. It just takes a couple minutes. So why not? We got some nice dust forming on the burr. The burr's falling apart. It's just little dusty steel particles along the edge. Makes a satisfying feeling. You know you're doing something. I love doing mirror edges. I love the end result. Doing the reveal is my favorite part. It's so exciting. All the effort you put into it. Sometimes there's heartbreak. Sometimes you get all the way done and you find out you fucked up and there's something that's in your edge that you can't handle looking at because you didn't see it in the right light. You can't unsee it, so you have to redo it. So the feeling of victory is sweet when it works out. This is the last stone. This is 8,000 grit stone. This is really should shine it up nicely. Just kind of scrubbing around. It's hard to see what it's doing because the scratches it's removing or doing or polishing are very small, and so it's kind of just like, is it doing anything? So I just scrub it for a while, and I assume it, the end results look good, so I know it's doing something. Okay. So now, before we take that out, we're going to take our strops, and we're going to start at 3 mic. No, we're not. We're going to start at 1 micron, and we're going to take this edge to 24 degrees. Because actually, first thing we're going to do is we're going to wipe off. We're going to wipe off this edge because it's covered with steel dust that I don't need to get contaminated on my strop. So this, set the stone to 24 degrees again, which is why it's important to have a measurement to go to, because that way you can resharpen it easier if you know what you're talking about angle-wise in your edge. So 24 degrees now. We're going to strop it real quick. I mean, there's really not a burr there since we mirrored it, so we're kind of just polishing. It is pretty fun to strop on the machine. If you don't have a strop, these are like, I don't know, I bet they're like $12, maybe $15 for a strop. I got a 5-pack for, I don't know, like $60, I think. So get us some strops. Use them on your knives. It'll make them shinier, and it'll help you get rid of the burr. Your edges will be sharper as long as you don't overdo it. But when you do it on the machine, it helps prevent you from convexing the tip. So what happens when you do it by hand, you can round out the apex of your knife. So we're just going to do this. I'm going to do 0.5 micron, and then we're going to call it good. Careful of the tip to lift off. You don't need to polish the tip of the tip. Even though I always want to, but doing that it's so tempting, but it's dangerous. You'll scar your strop. So be careful on the tip. Make sure to take big, exaggerated lifts when you pick up the stone or the strop. Because if you don't pay attention, it's really easy to go in there and scrape the. Oh, I just did. I got caught on the heel a little bit, so be careful. Yeah, got caught on the heel. It didn't scratch it, but that's what happens. Okay, we're gonna call that good. Alrighty. Take off the tape. Get our chamois cloth, give it just a wipe down, shine it up. If you are really into hanks, for actually using hanks, get a chamois cloth for anything dirty or anything oily. They work so well for hanks. I cut up 10 of them yesterday out of a big sheet of chamois cloth and just have them all over the place. Got some gunk on the blade I got to clean off with Gunny Glow Cleaner. There we go. And wipe it clean with the chamois cloth. Go back, get any marker that's still on the edge with a magic eraser. I like to return knives in the best condition possible so that the reveal when the owner opens it up is like, oh, snap! That's dope! That's the reaction I want. So I like knives to be cleaned up. And there we go. Nice little mirror. It's a small bevel, but it's a very good looking edge. Let's see if it actually cuts. And see if it does anything nice. You ready? So a 24-degree edge is not going to feel quite as easy to slice paper as a Spyderco. The cup. There we go. Sharpen Brown FSD. Pretty cool. Cool knife. Looks good. Didn't mess anything up. So that goes back. Now what I would do is figure out what he shipped it in. See if there's anything that needs to go back. If I is small enough, it goes back in one of these boxes, a USPS small flat rate box, which is what it's going to go back in. If it's a weird, funky box, like a big Koenig box, the best way to send it back is to take it and wrap it in a bubble mailer, and take the bubble mailer and wrap it in a USPS Tyvek envelope. And that's like $8 to ship. And you can ship anything as big, like this big, you can ship for $8. Like, weigh whatever. Like, that's a ton of knives you can ship for cheap. If you use a Tyvek envelope, you can stuff them full like wrapping paper. So I'd figure out what I need to ship back, and then I'd back it all up and print a shipping receipt off pirateship.com for cheap, and then I would go put it on my counter and it'd be done. That's kind of my process. So put that to the side, and then I'll go back through and do all the boxing up. See what we got going on in the comments. Ooh, lots of stuff. Thank you, sir. I'm learning. I mean, I've been doing this probably for 6 or 7 years, but I didn't get decent for several of them at the beginning. Not even okay, like bad for several of them. And then I started to make sense, like maybe 4 years ago. Is it safe to use isopropyl alcohol for cleaning DLC goods? Yes, it is. It's very resilient material. What I would do, though, if you want to get your DLC to actually look black and clean and not smudgy and not dried out, what you need to do is you need to get some oil. I mean, mineral oil. I bet you use olive oil for all that matters, but I use honing oil because I have it. You put a drop of this on your DLC, and you rub it all around, and this will lift up all the dirt, and it will get all the smudges and all that stuff, and it just kind of consolidates it, picks it up, and then you wipe it off with a Mr. Clean magic eraser. This is all dust and crap I've taken off blades. So take a Mr. Clean magic eraser, rub it there. It will look brand new. And then to get all the oil off that's left, you take a chamois cloth and wipe it down, and this will absorb all the oil. And you have a brand new looking DLC blade. Alcohol is not going to do shit. It's going to make it look bad, honestly. It will just kind of go on. You might smear around it, and it will dry out. And when it's dried out, it will look funky. It's safe, but I would use some oil and magic eraser if you want it to look nice. Yeah. So Matthew's got the COVID. And so he's on day 3, watching a lot of Spyderco videos, thinking about getting a pair of 3 crewwear to go with my pair of 2 crewwear and calling it quits there. I mean, if you just want to keep a small collection, that's totally cool. The pair of 3 crewwear, for you talking about the micarta one, it's not quite out yet, but it should be out in the next couple months. That's what you say now, Matthew. But this hobby has a way of growing, even if you don't want to. It has a way of going, but there's that one. And they made this one. And this one's blue. And this one's carbon fiber. And this one's this steel. And once you start getting sucked into the hobby, I'm not saying you have to or you will, but there's a good chance that your collection might end up bigger than you're anticipating at this point. Thank you, sir. Fucking send it, dude. Michael, send it. I'll do it. You have a Tonto again. I want to do more Tontos. That Tonto was killer. Chris Reeve Zon Tonto I did yesterday is probably the best looking edge I've ever done in my life. I took 5 videos of it just for Instagram. So I'm in Tonto mode. I'm happy to do more of those. No problem, David. Limerick knees. Cool. Yeah, I understand it. The nice thing about this hobby, and this is honestly, this is weird. This is the only reason I'm able to do this now. So I collected for like, I don't know, 5-6 years. Seriously. At one point I had like 400 Spydercos. And I have OCD as well because I get obsessed with stuff, and I got obsessed with getting like all the Spydercos. I had backups. Some of them would come back out and get re-released, and I'd buy more even if I already had them. Some of them I had 5. I had 6 of several different PM2s that were all in boxes in my safe, and I had to have them. I just felt like I needed them. And then I started selling some of them, and it felt so good to like break that. But I'd only sell a few at a time. Then I quit my job. I had no fucking money. So I sold off a lot of them. And that's kept me afloat for, well, it's the nest egg that got me to here, being able to stay alive. So the nice thing about knives is you can resell them. And if you buy things new and they're, limited run, they usually go up in value. So I got lucky. It was like a savings account for me. I got to play with the knives and have them. And then when I was ready to have the cash back, I got to sell them, and people got excited to have hard to get knives. Please do. I'd be happy to. But yeah, I get being broke because all I do is sharpen knives. I haven't bought a knife for. I bought a Koenig Arius, a mini Arius, but I actually bought it a year ago. But I paid for it in August, and I bought some knives at Blade Show. But I haven't bought any other knives since then, and I don't think I'm going to buy another knife until I turn 40 years old, which is at Blade Show this year. So I'm probably not going to buy another knife for 6 months, and I don't even know what it is. I don't know what I want. So it's okay. I'm at a point where I'm happy with my collection, and I don't feel the need. There's nothing right now I want to buy. I think a Chris Reeve Sabenza with the Spidey hole would be cool, but I know that's something I can get whenever I feel like doing the work and buying the knife. It's just available. So for now, I feel satisfied, and it's really nice to be able to go to my box. I can pick up any knife that's in my case. Here's one of my cases. Pick up any knife in my case, and I know that I like it enough to keep it, but it's also dialed in and sharp as shit, and it's the best it can be. And when I had so many just like original factory knives, it was just like some of them sucked, some weren't tuned. I wouldn't carry a lot of them ever just because they weren't good. But now I got everything. It's just like the best of the best I've kept. This is what's left after the great sell-off. And then this is most of my custom PM2s and Pair 3s. Then I have another box full of random miscellaneous non-Spydercos and mostly junk, a couple of Veros, a couple of Leon Moss, and then a case of Koenigs. So to me, this is not a small collection. So there's Koenigs, a Shiro, a custom knife, and a South African knife. But to me, this is like a reasonable size collection. It doesn't feel overwhelming anymore. I can handle this. It's about 80 knives, my own. But it took me a long time to get here. And if I need to, I can always sell them. But a lot of them have sentimental value now, so kind of down to the end. Oh, heavy box. Okay. Which is your favorite Spidey in your collection? My favorite Spidey, it's hard. It changes a lot. My favorite model is, here, I'll pick out a couple of them. My favorite model of knife. Where's my orange one? I don't know. I have a lot of favorites. But if I had to sell all my knives, put it this way. If I had to sell all my knives and I can only keep one, it's this one. It's a fucking S90V native with carbon fiber fluted scales. This is the best knife, not just that Spyderco's made. In my opinion, this is the best knife in the world. This is the perfect knife for any task, any occasion. I was going to a wedding, I would carry this knife. I was going hiking, I would wear this knife. If I was going to work in an office, you could carry this. If you're going to work on a construction site, you could carry this. It weighs like 2.5 ounces. You can flick it open. It's the best steel there is, S90V. Carbon fiber scales are contoured and awesome looking. So this is probably my favorite knife. This and my Sliz Bowie. Just had it out. One of these two are my favorite Spideys. I have a couple scales for this. This is Sidekick carbon fiber. But if I had to keep one, this would probably be a tough choice of which one to sell last. But this one's more functional, which I find function. That's why I like Spyderco, is its function first. It took me a long time to get over the big hump in the blade. Now I find it beautiful because it's like I can see that everything on that knife has a purpose and why it is designed the way it is. And the ergonomics of this knife are like, this is the best knife for knifing stuff. It is the perfect knife. It melts in your hand. It's got a forward choil. It's just so good. They're not cheap, but in my opinion, this is, if you have a one knife collection, this is the knife you have to have for your collection. So I guess that's the answer. Most groomers like myself have collections of scissors and thinners in the hundreds. For 17 years, I've functioned with 5 high-quality scissors. That's all I need. See, to me, though, 5 scissors sounds like a shitload. So, just saying. That sounds like a lot. Because I only have one pair of scissors I cut my hair with, and I need new ones. But I get it. Yeah, I like quality things, and I like to take care of my knives. People that say things like, I bet you're not going to carry that, or, oh, it's a safe queen. I'm like, none of my knives are safe queens, but you know what? They're all respected. They all get in my pocket, and they all get carried conscientiously. I don't bump my side against walls or countertops or anything. I pay attention to what's in my pocket. I don't even scratch my clips. I take care of my knives. They're all sharp. They're all dialed in. They're all perfect, but they all get used. They all get carried. They all cut stuff. Because if you take care of it, there's always a way to take it back to the original look. I prefer the look of those MXG gear clips compared to the Lynch. For the native, 100% the best clip is the Mannix G10 clip on the native. The reason is, and put one of these in your hand and you will 100% understand why I love this clip. See how it's deep carry, but like it's a little bit not. So it's like, a quarter or half an inch away from the end of the knife, but it is right dialed in on the curve right there. It doesn't go past into the curve. So it's got a shorter back bend. The distance between the screw and the top is small on this one. And what that does is it gives you killer ergonomics without it cutting into your palm. because if you have a long clip or a lynch clip, you can feel it right there. It sucks. So yeah, this is the clip to have. Mannix G10 clip from Mannix G. Fits this knife perfectly. Proportionally is a good length. It's kind of like a medium length, and it's just smooth. The titanium, their edges are kind of eased compared to lynch clips. They're kind of more smooth feeling and just like nice in hand. So yeah, these are killer. I've been using this clip for a long time, and I love to share and spread the word about it. At one point, I did sell all my knives except for my native lightweight. It's just that good. It really is. It's not a fidget. My favorite knife model is the Para 3. Like over Conagarius, over Slisbowie, over Native. Para 3 is my favorite knife model. That's what I carry every single day. Yeah, about 95% of the time I'm carrying a Para 3. But there's better knives. It's just fun to fidget with this thing. It's fun to have this in my pocket and whip it out and play with it. Native's not fun like that, but it's just a better knife. Well, alrighty, that was awesome. I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you're on Facebook watching right now, go over to YouTube, subscribe. If you're on YouTube right now and you don't know about the Facebook group, it's kind of like the best knife community on the earth. So go join the Millie Club, the Spyderco Millie PM2 Para 3 Club on Facebook. Give me a follow on Instagram at Thomas O. Moore, and I will see you guys again. I don't know, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, but soon. All right, peace out.